In the headlines, police arrest bandit, recover 4 AK-47 rifles in Kaduna. Christians renew faith as world celebrates Christmas. Governor Dave Umahi sanctions own party for violating order on campaign. And on the foreign scene, at least 34 dead as crippling winter storm batters eastern U.S. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. Operatives of the Kaduna State Police Command have arrested a notorious gunrunner in Zaria. 4 AK-47 rifles, 344 rounds of ammunition and an operational motorcycle, telephones and charms were allegedly recovered from him. The police spokesperson in the state, ASP Muhammad Jalige, confirmed the arrest in a statement issued on Sunday in Kaduna. Jalige said the arrested suspect had been taken into custody and a preliminary investigation has revealed he and his fleeing accomplice were on a nefarious mission to supply his gang with the offensive weapons. However, the Commissioner of Police, Kaduna State Command, Yekini Ayoku, has ordered a thorough and comprehensive investigation to unearth the source and destination of the illicit arms and the arrest of the suspect's criminal cohorts. The police spokesman further assured members of the public that the command will be unwavering in its commitment to ensure public safety and security in line with the operational guidelines handed down by the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Al-Ali Baba Usman, may be committed to jail following fresh contempt proceedings brought against him over an alleged breach of a citizen's fundamental human rights. The action followed the non-compliance of the police to the order on the violation of the rights of Justin Maduagu, the Managing Director of the Nigerian-Ukraine Chamber of Friendship and Culture and Commerce. A notice of contempt proceedings under Form 48 brought by their counsel Malachi Nwaekwe on December 13th sought to compel the IGP to comply with a December 14th, 2017 court order asking him to pay Maduagu the sum of 91,452,750 naira. Usman was not the IGP at the time the order was made. The judgment is the sum of 81.4 million naira and 10 million naira in damages and cost of the applicant's property unlawfully and compulsorily confiscated, seized and acquired by the police. In the judgment on the fundamental rights enforcement delivered on December 14, 2017, a federal high court in Abuja held that the detention of the applicant for 7 days without charge and the seizure of his property violated sections 35 and 44 of the Nigerian 1999 Constitution. The Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, in a letter signed by the Director of Citizens' Rights Department, F.K. Kebu, and received on June 21, 2018, had advised the IGP to comply with the judgment, with a preventing and continuous increase of the judgment debts. President Muhammadu Buhari on Sunday hosted Abuja community who paid him Christmas homage. The president revealed his plan to relocate from Abuja to Daura after May 29, 2023 in order not to meddle in the affairs of the office of his successor. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Musa Bello, led the delegation of Abuja residents at the last Christmas Day homage with the FCT community comprising political, traditional and religious leaders, women and youth groups as well as public servants. The president reiterated that he would return to Daura, Katsina State, his hometown, at the end of his tenure.
I appreciate the speech of the Minister of FCT, and I'm very pleased that he has been mentioned as a serious person, honest and hardworking. I think that's why he remained there for so long. I try to make sure that people who used to get their plots just to sell them. I could recall very seriously when I came out from detention. One of the chaps that think that he is close to me came and said, I should please see the Minister of FCC to give him a plot. He will sell it, marry another wife, and then hire a shago. My good God, I was overwhelmed by the piety of some people. He wanted the plot in FCC, not to develop it, but to sell it and then get the additional wife.
Today represents a milestone for us in the sense that due to COVID-19, we were not able to come and pay you Christmas homage in December of 2021 and December of 2022. I mean 2020. So we thank God Almighty for have made this possible, particularly also making Christmas to fall on a Sunday. I recall this is the second time we are celebrating Christmas on a Sunday during your tenure of office. And as has been mentioned by the Master of Ceremony, this also represents the last Christmas that we are going to have an opportunity as residents of the Federal Capital Territory to come and pay you homage, because in 5 months' time your tenure would have ended and the next Christmas will be held here under a new president.
And now to Katsina State, where the House of Fulani Christian community in the state celebrate Christmas with special prayers for God's intervention to end insecurity and rescue Nigeria against economic instability. Abdullahi Yamadi meets Christians in a remote farming community in Kafur local government area of Katsina State and now reports.
At Gidan Shukau, a remote farming community in Kafur local government, Hausa Fulani Christians said this year's festivities came amid harsh economic realities.
In
the spirit of Christmas, we pray God to bring an end all calamities facing our societies, including banditry, killings, and economic predicaments. We felicitate with all Christian communities in the world at the occasion of 2022 Christmas. The story is the same at Gidanyawa, another Christian community where clerics reminded their followers on contemporary issues affecting the societies and the need to commit all problems to God Almighty. At Ekwa Church, Masari in Kafur Town, headquarters of Kafur local government, Christian faithful were admonished to imbibe the virtues of Jesus Christ.
And we are giving some gifts. After celebrating Christmas, we are giving gifts to our neighbors, to our friends, to celebrate together. And the issue of election 2023 that is coming, we are praying God should answer our prayer and give us a good leaders.
A drama performance depicting the love, togetherness, and sharing among all people, regardless of religious differences, was staged in the spirit of Christmas. Christians clerics in Katsina State appreciate the media for giving its followers the opportunity to rejoice with their counterparts across the globe. Abdullahi Ismail Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
In Jos, the Plateau State capital, the high cost of living has impacted on this year's Christmas celebration. Adu Musa reports that residents said the harsh economic reality has changed the plans for the festive period, with prices of what they used to buy in the past to celebrate Christmas going high. The report.
Rising prices of goods and services in the market has changed the plan of many households in Jos for Christmas. Some Christian faithful, however, said, despite difficult economic situation, they spend the little they have to celebrate the Christmas.
We really thank God for this Christmas, but seriously, due to the hard economy, we really face a lot of challenges in terms of hardship. Because seriously, we have been growing up and down to see we get a little in order to help the family. And even though there are a lot of families that they couldn't afford it, even this rice and some other things to buy their children clothes, they face a lot of challenges due to the hard economy of the Nigeria.
This year Christmas at this period is actually a very, very difficult task, looking at the high cost of materials in the market, and particularly buying Christmas clothes. It is difficult. We cannot even buy, because when you go, the clothes you used to buy is very expensive. And the financial difficulties, there is no money for you to buy these things.
Happy Obadiah, a housewife, said she was mindful of the situation when her husband said there was no money to have a joyful celebration of the Christmas. Thanking God she was among the living to witness yet another Christmas.
Seriously, when the Christmas was approaching, I was asking him about money to buy things for the children. He was telling me that, this thing, he don't think you do it like before. You just manage because there's no salary, all these things. So we'll just manage and do the Christmas the way we see it.
Residents call on government to do the needful to make life easy for the common man.
I just want to talk to the public to let them know that, and the government entirely, especially in a season like this, they should try and subsidize and help the needy people. Especially when they go to these villages, hamlets, they will see how people have been struggling. Let them try much as possible to subsidize so that people can be able to afford it.
We're actually hoping on God that we also pray that God should touch the government of the day to come to our aid, because as it is, we don't have any hope anywhere if not God.
Christmas is an annual festival commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ with feast and fanfare. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And still on Christmas messages, Bishop of the Cathedral of Anglican Communion Church, Gusau, John Mbinta, has urged Nigerians not to vote on the basis of religion and ethnicity in the 2023 elections, but should vote credible candidates who can address insecurity, foster unity, fix the economy, restore peace and stability in the country. The cleric made the call while speaking with newsmen in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital, on his 2022 Christmas message to Christians. The report. The Bishop of the Anglican Communion Church Cathedral, Gusau, Bishop John Mbinta, said Nigerians must learn to live in peace with one another as well as tolerate each other, just as Jesus lived his life on earth. He asked Nigerians to unite and confront the security challenges, saying the terror groups that have been unleashing mayhem on innocent citizens do not distinguish between Muslims and Christians. Bishop Mbinta enjoined Nigerians to exercise their franchise to vote for candidates of their choice who are competent and can take Nigeria out of its existential challenges.
We need to do away with the issue of religion, the issue of tribe, and join our hands together to build this country. Now look at the issue of this terrorism, the banditry. When the bandits are around, they don't know whether you are Hausa, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Bagi, you are this and that. Whether you are Christian, you are not a Christian, you are Muslim, you are animist. You know, they do kill and do everything. So we should do away with that issue of tribal sentiment.
Some worshippers at the church appreciate God for keeping them alive to witness the 2022 Christmas celebration.
God has done many things for me. Even this year, I pass, even my family, we pass every tribulation, but God saved. I appreciate the name of the Lord.
I see me dancing, I feel joy for celebrating this Christmas 2022. It's not easy for me to be alive to see this year 2022. Upon all the things that is happening, God still keep me alive. That's why I'm very, very happy. I'm celebrating it with full of joy and happiness.
Bishop John Dambinta also admonished Christians to shun tribalism, religious and ethnic sentiments, but should love and help one another, especially the needy in the society. The former national president of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Cardinal John Onaiyekan, has cautioned politicians using warlike language to insist on winning the 2023 elections. Speaking on Sunday, the Archbishop and member of the National Peace Committee said candidates who are insisting on winning the next general election at all costs are not democratic. Onaiyekan cautioned that religious differences should not lead to violence and tasked clerics to pursue peace and spread tolerance among their members and others who are of different faiths, adding that Nigeria's challenge is not ethnicity and religion because both factors are by choice. The cleric urged candidates in the next general election to use the epochal event to turn the fortunes of Nigeria around for the better. And to Ebonyi State now, where the governor, David Umahi, has ordered that the All Progressives Congress in the state pays a fine of 5 million naira for contravening the provisions of the state's Executive Order 3 of 2022. Executive Order 3 prohibits the political parties from using public places such as schools, parks and markets, among others, for political activities without seeking and obtaining due clearance from the state government. The order, signed by the governor in November, also prohibits political parties from using critical infrastructure for pasting posters without obtaining state clearance. The order for the fine imposed on the APC in the state is contained in a statement signed by the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Uchenna Oji, on Sunday in Abakaliki. He stated that Governor Umahi was saddened by the party's continuous pasting of posters on electric poles, meridians, concrete roads and on flyover bridges. Oji noted that Governor Umahi had consequently decided to use his political party, the APC, to set an example as a deterrent to others. Still with us on Trust TV News Update, still ahead. We'll show you how Jos women become breadwinners, supporting their families. This and more stories after the break. You stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure that be? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Or really, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Residents of the Federal Capital Territory are hereby alerted to the activities of scavengers, also known as Babambula, which security agencies have identified as a high-level security threat to not only the residents but also to our infrastructure as they perpetrate petty stealing and acts of vandalism on public utilities. More so, they are drug peddlers, serve as spies to terrorist elements, and are ready-made tools for the public disturbances during which they attack people with dangerous weapons. The Federal Capital Territory Administration therefore reiterates that the ban on scavengers, aka Bababula, operating within the Federal Capital City is still in force. These miscreants are advised to stay off the streets of the Federal Capital City for their own good, as defaulters will be apprehended and prosecuted, including parents of underage children involved in these practices. Relevant agencies are carrying out enforcement of this ban as stipulated. Be law-abiding always. Let's together build the FCT of our dreams. Management Announcer.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's recap our top stories. Police arrest bandit, recover 4 AK-47 rifles in Kaduna. And Christians renew faith as world celebrates Christmas. And moving on to other news now. The federal government has said it will soon begin the process of verifying money spent by states to tackle the COVID-19 virus. In a statement on Sunday, the Minister of State, Budget and National Planning, Prince Clem Agba, said an independent verification agent, IVA, has been engaged for the implementation of the Nigeria COVID-19 Action Recovery and Economic Stimulus, NG Cares program. Speaking during the signing of a contract between the federal government and Stiegler Services Limited to serve as the IVA of the NG Cares program, Agba stated that the reimbursed funds will assist in reducing poverty in the country and boost the quest by President Muhammadu Buhari to lift 100 million people out of poverty. On his part, the National Coordinator of NG Cares, Dr. Abdul Karim Obaje, said that the IVA engagement bidding process was very competitive and included both local and international firms, saying Stiegler Services Limited emerged as the most responsive and competitive bidder. Obaje stated that the Federal Cares Support Unit of the NG Cares program had fixed December 28th for the commencement of the first verification exercise that would run concurrently in all states and the FCT. An Abuja low-income earner with 8 children says rising cost of living in the face of dwindling earnings has negatively affected this year's Christmas celebration for him and his family. He narrates his experience in an interview with Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman as Christian faithful across the globe celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. The report.
A 72-year-old Daniel Zaki of Pana village, a shanty settlement in the heart of Abuja, is originally a farmer. He lost his farmlands to growing expansion of the largest and fastest growing city in Africa. From his daily struggles, he managed to own some houses from which he earns a little above 2 million naira annually to take care of his wife and 8 children, using the surplus to bankroll the family's Christmas needs.
I slaughter a few of my chickens because I couldn't afford a goat.
Though the rising cost of living and expanding family demands remain a challenge, he and his family find this year's Christmas worthy of celebrating despite the hardship.
At our bond for school is too much. I want government to reduce it. My father is suffering.
For Daniel Zaki's tenant, Chinazo, it is a time to lend a helping hand by supporting her landlord, especially at this period of merriment.
We are celebrating Christ and it's time to give gifts and to just celebrate. So that's why I brought gifts for him. Because they are very close to me, and they are my landlord, so I cannot just share gifts and forget about them. That's why I brought gifts for them.
Their message to those in power is to do the needful and make life much more easier and meaningful for them to meet their basic needs as they look forward to more celebrations ahead. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, some women in Plateau State have a reputation of hard work to cater for their families, even though they are married. These women go to the extra mile to provide for the family and meet other obligations and responsibility that should ideally be that of their husbands. Our correspondent, Dixon Adama, speaks to some of these women in Jos, the Plateau State capital. His report.
Plateau State women are known for their hard work and resilience in nearly all spheres of human endeavors.
they often venture into male-dominated jobs. These women are often seen on the farms, at quarry sites breaking stones, serving as laborers at building construction sites, driving commercial vehicles and working as mechanics. Others operate restaurants, sell fruits and vegetables, hawk yams, sell Irish potatoes, among other menial jobs just to provide for their families. As these women are striving to make ends meet and fend or support the family, some of their husbands play complementary roles. While some husbands are indifferent to their family situation, others are said to be responsible with drinking habits. Regardless of these, the women, however, remain determined and focused in supporting their families.
I'm doing this work for 10 years now. Labor, patterning, building, construction. So I get 2 children, doing this work to pay my children's school fees, and the work was helping me very well.
I live here with my husband and my 2 children. I'm a marketer. Women are very industrious these days. Why? Because the economic is very harsh on our husbands. Gone of those days when women sit at home doing nothing. We women have decided to come out and help our husbands in supporting them in family raising. I call on governments to empower women so that we'll be able to have the ability to stand with our husband and support them.
These women wished that they are empowered to earn livelihood to cater for their family, leaving the men to take care of the homes.
Now for a quick look at the foreign scene, where at least 34 people have died after a relentless winter storm brought Christmas Day danger and misery to millions of Americans, with frigid cold gripping parts of the eastern United States. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said a crisis situation is unfolding in Buffalo in western New York, where a blizzard has left the city marooned, with emergency services unable to reach high-impact areas. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.